Hello everyone, Mr. Happy here and welcome to Final Fantasy Bestiary. This series is dedicated towards discovering the history and lore behind Final Fantasy's most iconic creatures and characters. Today we will do our first job-related bestiary in quite some time and dive into the past of the Dancer job. The Dancer job is a job that has existed in some capacity since the earlier days of Final Fantasy. What first started off as nothing more than NPCs simply appearing in towns and pubs, Square Enix eventually made Dancer a playable job in the series. It is defined by its use of different dances to both support the party and destroy unexpected enemies. Their most common choice of weapon is a dagger, though their dances can be utilized to such a point where the daggers are merely a formality. First introduced in Final Fantasy V, the Dancer job became available after the shattering of the Earth Crystal. Its primary job command is Dance, a command that by default performs one of several skills, including Tempting Tango to confuse an enemy, Jitterbug Duet to absorb HP, Mystery Waltz to drain MP, and Sword Dance, which attacks 4 times in a row. Different weapons and armor are able to alter the percentage odds of using the different skills so that players can attempt to add regularity to the dance command. Most often, players will find themselves attempting to utilize Sword Dance, as its damage can be quite lethal. If a player finds they do not like the Dancer but still want to attempt to use the Dance command, the dancing daggers in the game can be equipped to other jobs to change their basic attack command to the Dance command. In Final Fantasy VI, the job system was done away with, but the character Mog uses a combination of Dancer and Geomancer's skills. His dances change depending on what terrain the player is fighting on, and learns new dances as he fights on more types of terrain. These skills can debuff enemies, heal allies, or simply destroy opponents based on their HP. Some of these attacks are unblockable, though Mog's reliability can sometimes be questionable. Dancer, as well as most inklings of the job system, wouldn't be present in a main Final Fantasy game again until Final Fantasy X-2, where it is instead replaced with the Songstress Sphere. Comparatively, Songstress is like Dancer meets Bard, and is the first job other than the initial 3 that you unlock in the story. After that, Final Fantasy XI would be when the Dancer was next seen, though late in the game's life cycle. Dancer was added as part of the Wings of the Goddess expansion pack, and it quickly became one of the most used sub-jobs in the game. Utilizing daggers, dancers generated technique points which could then be spent on one of many dances to achieve many different types of effects, such as reduced defense, healing allies, or even allowing allies to absorb HP or gain haste by hitting the same opponent. Using skills known as steps generated finishing moves, which could be used on powerful flourishes to restore TP, provoke enemies, or deal multiple powerful strikes. While the job fit into the support role, it was often considered too risky to bring a healer support into melee range, as well as feeding technique points to the bosses. For this reason, Dancer was mostly used as a sub-job to grant players easy access to self-healing and light buffs. For that purpose though, many grew to love the addition of the job, though its usefulness in endgame content was quite questionable. Over the years, Dancer was still quite prevalent in the non-numbered series, especially in the Final Fantasy Tactics series. While the job has appeared in multiple mobile and off titles, the current interest in the job is at an all-time high due to player speculation that the Dancer job will be present in Final Fantasy XIV's next expansion, Stormblood. No confirmation has been made just yet, but a young woman performing martial arts in the teaser for the expansion bears some resemblance to the job's usual attire, along with using her sleeves and a hidden blade in her gauntlet to fight. We shall know more in the coming months on the verdict, Monk or Dancer. And that's going to be a wrap for this episode of Final Fantasy Bestiary. Special thanks to the Patreon users for bringing this series back. If you want to check out my Patreon, be sure to check that out in the description of the video and check out all the different things that are available there. Anyway, thank you for watching. Be sure to like, favorite, subscribe, and share. And until next time, take care.